Hi, my name is Robert Dagstein. I'm interviewing Linda Teller, who founder of the 1099 Natives Networking Group. Thank you for joining me. And can we start off with some background information? Like, for example, how did you start your networking groups?
Yes, that's a great question to start with. It all began when I started my business, being a self employed independent financial advisor. And I realized I needed customers and I needed referral partners and local connections. Now, the customer part is obvious, of course. The referral partners were critical to my survival because I realized finding customers can be a full time job in itself. And I needed time to actually do the work that I was trying to offer to my customers. So a referral partner bringing me customers saved me from having to go out into the world and find every single person that I was going to work with. And the local connection was my currency. That's how I paid my referral partners, for lack of a better phrasing. So, for example, if I was working with a referral partner who is a real estate agent, she or he is looking to meet people who want to buy or sell their house. So while I'm out networking and meeting with people and making those local connections, if I hear somebody say, oh, we're downsizing, we need to move out of our house, the kids are gone, we're looking for something smaller, I'd say, oh, do you have a real estate agent? Because I'd love to refer you to somebody who I think is excellent. And here, give me your card and I'll do an introductory email tonight when I get home and, see what you think. Now, I'm paying the real estate agent with a lead. So that's my currency. Now she's going to say, oh my God, Linda, this was so nice, and look to reciprocate and pay me back with a lead. So this whole idea of networking is about connecting people to services that they say they need, and building rapport and building relationships. The other thing that happened is while I was attending other networking groups, I encountered what I called pain points. These were things to avoid. So when I started my networking group, I kept that information in mind. And what I decided to do was fix what I perceived as broken in the other groups. And that's kind of how it all started, really.
So that's quite a story you have there. I am a little curious, like, what were the things that were wrong with these other groups in your opinions?
Sure. Well, the first thing was their fees. A lot of networking groups charge somewhere between $200 and $500 a year to be a member. And the thinking behind that is you have to have skin in the game. If you've paid to be a part of the group, you're going to show up, you're going to give leads, you're not going to want to waste that money. But what happened was I had sort of an opposite experience to that. When I went to these groups, people would like vomit on you. Buy my stuff, use my service. They didn't care about me. They didn't care about my business. It was all about them. Really not a positive experience at all. So with my groups, I did away with all the fees. So they're not trying to recoup an investment that they've made. They're free to just get to know people and connect. They haven't lost anything. Another thing I noticed when I went to these groups was we're women only and no alcohol. Because when you go to these evening events where there's drinking, it tended to be older guys drinking too much and hitting on the younger girls. There weren't a lot of meaningful business conversations happening there. And the whole point of networking is to have those valuable business connections. So if you go to these things and there is alcohol, you should have one drink or none at all. Just switch over to soda or water with lime in it, whatever you want. If you want to have something in your hand, kind of as a prop, that's fine. But you don't want to be, inebriated, because then again, you're setting yourself up for failure. You want to be sharp and well-spoken. And then lastly, the other groups have mandatory attendance, and if you can't come, you have to get a sub. I did away with that because if you have a chance to meet with a customer, that's where you belong, not at a meeting. That's crazy. It's counterproductive to being successful. And as far as not getting leads and giving leads, you know what? You give what you get in life. So when somebody meets with me and they say, I'm not getting a lot of leads, my first question is, well, how many of them are you given? Because when you give away leads, people naturally reciprocate. Oh, I want to pay you back. I'm going to look for somebody especially for you. This was so nice. That's what I'm hearing. And so it's there's a law in physics that says for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. I think it holds true in people too, in relationships. So I don't think the money and the mandatory stuff needs to be in place. I think what you need to do is generate or attract authentic people who are in business, trying to grow that business, and want to help others do the same.
All right. Well, clearly you've put a lot of thought into this. It's very impressive. A lot of people have no idea about the workings of these groups. What are some things a person should do to avoid when they are?
So, it's funny that you should ask that, because when I'm asked to speak, I actually talk about this exact topic. Things to avoid while networking. All right, number one, this is not a neighborhood barbecue. So no gossiping. Even if you think you're letting someone know about something, it's what happens when you walk away is the person believes you do that to them too. And their opinion of you has just been lowered. So it's just not a smart thing to do. The other thing is, it's not free therapy. Nobody wants to hear about your husband cheating on you or the neighbor's dog barking all night and you're so tired now and you didn't get any rest. They really don't care. That's not why they're there. They're there to talk business. They're there to talk about their services or other attributes of people they're looking to meet. Then I know it's funny, so I'm saying what you shouldn't do, but it's like when I say to you, whatever you do, don't think of a blue elephant. And the first thing that pops into your head is a picture of a blue elephant, right? So instead of going into these meetings and thinking, I'm not going to talk about this and I'm not going to talk about that, flip it. Have set stories in your head that you want to make sure you say about yourself. And these stories are about a time when your business really solved a problem for a client, or some story that shows how passionate you are about doing what you're doing, or an attribute about yourself that you're really proud of. I call this creating your brand. This is what you want to be known for. This is what you want people to remember about you. And I think that people want to do business that they think well of. And if you can't leave them with an impression of, oh, I'd love to do business with her, then you're not going to be successful at growing your business this way. You really need to stick to these strategies if you want to be successful in this environment.
I can see what you're saying. These are good things to avoid. Like, nobody enjoys drama. You catch more people with honey than vinegar. And that law of attraction, if you go around spouting about all the negatives of your day-to-day life, a lot of people are going to be repulsed. And speak more positively, people will be more attracted to you as well. So I like the gist of where you were saying. So what are some things you should do in an event?
Okay, so first thing is you should have a business card so that people can follow up with you, something easy. That's the purpose of a business card, right? And when you're speaking to somebody, you need to be thinking in your head, who do I know that I can introduce to this person, either as a customer or a referral partner? And when you walk away, take out a pen and write a little note on the back of the card. Because if you're speaking to 10 or 15 people in a night, when you get back home, you're going to be tired. You're going to look at the card and say, who is this? What was I thinking for this person? So set yourself up for success. Take a little notes on the back of the card, just something to help you remember. The other thing that you want to do is you want to follow up with that person in 24 to 48 hours with like a sense of urgency. That's very flattering to people. And you're also communicating to them that you value them. And that is a nice feeling to start off a relationship with, that you were impressed with them, that you want to help them, that you are actively looking out for them. And then most sales are lost due to the lack of follow through. So you want to start off with, hey, if you give me something to do, I'm going to follow through. I'm not going to let it slip and make you look bad for the referral. I'm going to treat my customers the same way I'm treating you. So you're kind of modeling for people what they can expect when they tell their friends to come to you for your services. And then the other thing is, you need to have a clear idea in your head of who your perfect customer is and who your perfect referral partners are. So that when somebody says to you, well, who are you trying to meet? Who can I connect you with? You have a clear, succinct answer. So I might say, oh, I'm looking to meet middle-aged women who are taking care of their mothers because I run an agency of CNAs. And my perfect referral partners might be people who are servicing those same groups of people. So maybe a geriatric lawyer, estate planning, or a chiropractor, or somebody who's working with the elderly in some way, a social worker. Those are my great referral partners, for me. And so I'm really solid on who I'm trying to meet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, completely. So why do you think these networking is a good way to grow your business?
Oh, yeah. Well, I read that we are the most sold to generation in all history because radio, TV, social media, print, everywhere you rest your eyes is an advertisement for something to buy or do. It's insane how overstimulating it is. So why would somebody pick me over doing a Google search or responding to an advertisement? Because they know, like, and trust me, because I've already passed business to them and they want to reciprocate. So when it comes time for them to needing my services, they're thinking of me because I've done already something to build a relationship with them. These relationships are the key. And you know what? If you're doing something like selling Mary Kay or Tupperware or Norwex, why would they buy from you? Because there's so many people doing the same thing. They're buying from you because you have a relationship with them. And that relationship buys their loyalty. I think that any business, my business is really strong in relationship building, but any business can grow this way because at some point someone will need your services and people will refer to you if they have a relationship with you, if they know you. The last thing is television ads are very expensive. Radio ads are expensive. Print ads in newspapers and magazines are expensive. All these things have a huge cash outlay. And when you're a small business, you might not have the marketing budget to pay for all those avenues. In this way, the only thing it costs you is your time. You're going out into the world, you're connecting with people, you're getting a chance to meet with them. There's not a huge cash outlay to do this. So this is something that is affordable for a new business or a small business.
Okay. So lastly, how else can a sole entrepreneur compete with a large company that has a substantial sales force?
Yeah, that is a great question. I say this to people all the time. So one of the things that's nice is when you have maybe 10 or 15 people that you're meeting with on a regular basis, you're a part of their sales force as much as they're a part of yours. So now you're not one person looking for business. You really have a sales force of 10 to 15 people because they're out there while they're looking for their own customers. They're listening. They're looking out for you as well. And you're reciprocating. So when we get together, we can also collaborate. Oh, I want to do this event. Does anybody know a caterer? Does anybody know a venue? I can't seem to get past this. Does anybody have any ideas about that? Or I have this difficult client. I've tried this. I've tried that. How would you handle it? We can be there supportive of each other. So I like to say that the 1099 ladies commiserate, collaborate, and celebrate. We are a true sisterhood. And, it started out as 10 or 15 or 20. Yeah, 15 or 20 women meeting twice a month with me. And now we are 10 chapters all over the city. So more than 100 women meet twice a month to grow and connect this business. It's really been a very successful venue for me, to pursue. I can't say enough good things about it, honestly.
Well, Linda, thank you for your time. You seem to be a keen expert in networking as you evolved over to 10 chapters over a city. And of course, 100 women is very impressive figures. Thank you for taking the time and telling us how to better relationships with networking groups. We do have time for a plug, so anything you would like to shout out to your website, and which way can people get in contact you if they want to take interest further with you?
So, first of all, if you are a small business owner looking to make local valuable connections, please go to our website, www.1099ladiesnetworking.com. Every chapter, address, time, day that they're meeting is listed there. I'm sure we're meeting someplace near you. And there's also a button there to click where you can connect with me. I am sure I know somebody that you need to meet. So please consider yourself invited.
All right. Well, thank you, Linda, for your time and once again your expertise. As the outro goes, for your service.